We're going to launch the Weight Loss, Health, and Wellness, A New Direction. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Tim Terrio, and I think whenever you're listening to somebody, you need to know a little background on them so you can weigh and consider who they are and what they're talking about. So a little bit about me. I've got my master's degree in athletic training, and then I also have a doctorate in physical therapy, and I'm a licensed physical therapist in the state of California, and I'm also a certified athletic trainer with the National Athletic Trainers Association. I also had held certification as a strength and conditioning specialist and also as a performance enhancement specialist, all wrapped up in about 28 years of experience. And then recently, as in the last couple of years, I became an author and have written 2 books, one of which is the basis for the new program that we're launching at Terrio. So little objectives, our agenda for the day. We're going to go over a statistical overview of the current health situation in Kern County. And then we're also going to go over why do daily diets and New Year's resolutions fail at such a high rate. And then where should you start when you're wanting to do a wellness program? Get into goal setting a little bit on what's the best way to set your goals to achieve maximal results. And then overall, the biggest thing is you got to determine what program is the right program for you. There's lots of programs out there, lots of good programs, but the big thing is which one makes the most sense for you. And we'll go through some principles of training so you can make that determination. So how are we doing in Kern County? Well, the answer in a nutshell is we're not doing very well. Kern County ranks in the bottom 25% of all the counties in California in 6 out of 8 health indicators related to causes of death. So basically, you can read through them. They're all the big ones. Heart disease, of course, is the number 1 killer. Diabetes, lower chronic respiratory disease from our wonderful air, Alzheimer's disease, influenza, pneumonia, and then also stroke. But I think the more telling numbers are when we look at chronic diseases. There's 58 counties in California, and Kern County is the 58th out of the 58 counties when it comes to deaths due to heart disease. We have more people per capita die of heart disease here than any other county in California. We also are 57 out of 58 counties when it comes to deaths due to diabetes. So we're not doing very well. As a matter of fact, we're one of the 7 sickest counties in the nation. We were selected a couple years ago for a program through the CDC, and we were dubbed one of the 7 sickest counties in America. So what's the underlying cause of these chronic diseases? Well, we know for type 2 diabetes and heart disease, the underlying problem is obesity and lack of physical activity. So the percentage of adults in Kern County who are overweight has now passed 60%. And these are actually old numbers. The current numbers are actually approaching almost 70% of our adults are considered overweight and obese. And then when it comes to physical activity in Kern County, the percentage of adults who get regular physical activity is below 40%, actually 39.3. So the scary part of that is it's 30 minutes of activity 3 times a week, and only 39% of our public get that much exercise. So it's rapidly leading us to be the United States of obesity. We're quickly surpassing it as the number 1 health epidemic. Unfortunately, it doesn't get all the press, but we are the number 1 overweight society in the world. The scary part for me as a father is that we have other people learning our bad habits. Of 7th grade students who are not in the healthy fitness zone for body composition has now reached almost 40%. 38% of our 7th graders are now considered out of the healthy zone for body composition. The one that bothers me more than that is the number of 7th grade students who are physically fit or considered physically fit is only 30%. So only 30% of our 7th graders are actually considered physically fit. So our bad habits are trickling down, and we got to get kids out there moving and a little more active. So if you were looking for a little more motivation, if it's not enough to get you healthy, look down at the family and those around you and hopefully get those people healthy too. So how do we fix it? Well, that's simple, right? We hear it all the time, that you just have to eat better and get more exercise. But we all know that having done it over and over again, that's not quite that simple. So then we go to our good friend Google and we search the internet. There's got to be lots of possible solutions. And you plug anything about weight loss into Google, it will explode with links to places you can go and programs you can see. So that gets to be too much. Then we talk to family and friends, and then again, we're bombarded with all kinds of options. So we hear everything is fast and easy, permanent solution, losing massive amounts of weight, 10 to 15 pounds in a month, be as slim as you want to be. It's all natural, healthy. It's super fast weight loss. We see other stuff where it's just fun to lose weight because you don't have to follow any eating habits. You don't have to go to the gym. You just take that concoction. And then there's even more that are clinically proven and tested. We see over and over again all these products that somehow are proven and tested and clinically okay, and yet then a few weeks or months later we find out that, oh, that was bad for you. You shouldn't have done that. So you got to wonder about the clinical ethnicity. To me, it looks and sounds a whole lot like the snake oil salesman of the old days, walking around selling the latest, greatest potion that's going to make you better. And you also got to love the old fabrics that show up. I mean, if it's not enough that you put pills in you, there's all kinds of garments that you can wear that will miraculously melt fat off you. And let's face it, that's enough to leave everybody feeling horribly frustrated. Like, what is the real answer? Well, here's the real numbers, right? Why is this all out there? Because the annual revenue of the United States spent on the weight loss industry, including both diet books, drugs, weight loss surgeries, is now between $20 and $40 billion a year. So it's a huge business. And why is it such a big business? Because the typical American will make 4 to 5 attempts per year to lose weight, which means at any given time there's 108 million Americans on diets trying to lose weight. And the percentage of customers consuming weight loss products and services who are female, 85%. So females out there, you're making up 85% of a $20 billion industry chasing the latest fads and portions and formulas. But here's the real statistic that matters, right? What percentage of diets fail? It's 95%. And every study that comes out has it between 92 and 98%. And it's the same number for New Year's resolutions. So why is it such a high failure rate? It's really simple. They're just simply not sustainable. We know that they're not sustainable because getting healthy is not a sprint. We didn't get unhealthy in a sprint format. We take years to get unhealthy, and it takes a long time to actually reverse those trends. Because it's really about a life journey. We have to switch our habits and behaviors and realize that we're in this for the long haul. So really what we're talking about is to have a sustainable change, it has to be a behavioral change. And the bad news there is changing behavior is really, really hard. We know it from those that we've seen that are alcoholics and need to kick the habit, how long of a process that is. The numbers are the same for people trying to lose weight and get healthy as it is for those trying to quit drinking or quit drugs or any other of those behaviors. So the premise that I go under is that we human beings have two sides to us. There's an analytical side, and that is what I call the writer, and the emotional side, which is our elephant. So that's the elephant in the room. Is if you think about a person riding an elephant, the only way a person rides an elephant is through lots of training, because we know that the rider has limited strength compared to the elephant, whereas the elephant has a tremendous unbridled strength. So the rider might know where they want to go, but unless the elephant wants to go along with them, there's no way they're going to go that way. And that's what happens to us every year. And every time you hear a weight loss talk or any behavioral talk, we always talk to the rider. We always tell the rider, here's the reasons you need to get healthy. Here's the reasons you need to work out. Here's the statistical data that I just shared with you. That was talking to your rider. The elephant could care less about statistics or analysis or anything else. It cares about emotion. It cares about feelings, and it cares about dreams and stuff like that. So if we're not talking to both the elephant and the rider, we have no chance of success. So in reality, the rider is only in control as long as the elephant wants to go along with it. If the elephant ever lacks training, or if the elephant's confused about the path it's supposed to go on, or if something frightens or injures the elephant, then there's a full-blown stampede. The elephant's going to barrage out of there. And that's exactly what's going to happen. If it hasn't already happened, it's going to happen soon with all the New Year's resolution people that go out and hit it too hard. And then their elephant's going to stampede away from that behavior, because we don't like to continually endure injuries and pain. So if you're pushing so hard in your New Year's resolution that you become painful, then the elephant says, I'm out of here. That plate of cookies looks much better than this gym. That glass of wine looks a whole lot better than hanging out at the facility. So you got to understand this, the elephant and the rider, and trying to get them to work together to give us full sustainability and make it last for a long time. So as I said, to talk to the elephant, we talk in dreams. And dreams are awesome, and we all know Walt Disney is the king of dreamers, but he said all dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. And obviously Walt pursued his to the nth degree and was very, very popular. And we like to think that it's that simple. We like to think that we can just go ahead and create our dream and it will become a reality if we just start working on it. Well, again, reality is the path ahead of you. And I love this cartoon because you see, here's you with your dreams in your hand and you're ready to go for your goals, but there's some stuff in the way here. Our friends and relatives, and they mean well, right? Your friends and relatives will tell you when you tell them, hey, here's my dream, this is what I want to accomplish. They're the first ones to give you all the reasons that it's probably not going to happen, or things that could go wrong, or things that can be bad. They don't want you to get hurt, so they try to help you. But in some ways, they block you. And then society kicks in. They're there to block some of your dreams, just in the fact that we're bombarded with all these potions, concoctions, people telling you all different kinds of things, different ways to go. And if you don't know for sure if those are guiding you towards your goals, or is that really blocking you from your goals? And if we can get through the first ones, then we got to get to the heavy lifting, which is really guilt and fear, or our internal problems, our internal roadblocks that are going to keep us from getting where we want to get to. So just when you thought there wasn't enough standing in the way, we have also our considerations, the what ifs. What if I do this and it doesn't work? And then those past failures pop up in our head that, man, I've done this before and it didn't work and it felt like this, or I don't know that I can actually do this. I've tried and failed so many times. I just don't want to go there again. We also have our fears, and there's two types of fears. There's real and imagined. There's real fear out there that I can't go to certain areas in town and go jogging at certain times of the day, because it's just, there is real fear out there that something bad can happen. But most of our fears are actually imagined. They're limitations we place on ourselves because we're afraid of what is going on. You know, that we're afraid that somebody's told us something bad that could happen, or we wonder what's really out there, and we don't want to get too close to those edges. And then there's just roadblocks in our way too. So it starts to feel like that dream, that path to the dream starts to look like detours and do not enters and just blocking the way.